Okay, this is the first time doing my live on YouTube, and somebody I invited, but I don't know what's going on. Um, Let me see if I can bring him back up again. Just hold on, please. So we are back again. I was trying to connect to someone, but it's not reachable right now. So okay, very well. I'm gonna be starting right now. So today we're gonna be talking about basically general talks, and but we are gonna be focusing our challenge on, or we're gonna be focusing basically on Ponzi's, right? Basically everybody know what Ponzi is, right? I don't know if you can hear me, please. If you're basically live, please just comment. Let me know what's up. That is if you're watching me right now. Let me know what's up, guys. Let me know what's up. Let me know what's up. I don't know if you can hear me. Checks. Oops, it's not online. What's going on? Okay, can you hear me, Checks? Checks, can you hear me? Checks, can you hear me, please? I need a feedback. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me, Checks? Can you hear me? Hello, 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 hello. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? You just probably use your earpod or something. Something. Okay, sorry about that. What about earpiece? Okay. Well, I just wanted to test if it's working, how if I can connect with somebody on live. So I've seen it. I've seen it already right now.
Waiting,
Okay.
waiting.
So
They bring everybody for like
what did you say? Sorry.
they want to bring everybody for live chat.
I'm not hearing you.
Put everybody on live chat.
Yes, I was trying to, instead of me wasting my time recording series of voice notes on WhatsApp, let me just do everything on YouTube directly. Anybody that wants to listen to it, let them go to YouTube and listen to it better
At
still.
least, at least we will see we will see live people that are serious.
And for now, nobody is live yet. For now, this is the first time Sha trying it. I've not really had time to try live though.
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
Can I make you?
Initially, we change the mix.
Shall we change the mix?
I know to change the mix.
Mix it out, Luna and Luna.
Mix it. Carry me, fully bag.
Ọmọ yìí sọ yẹn.
ẹ
No problem. Yes ma, I got
alájà ẹ
some.
káàsán. ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣáàrí nǹkan tó wà
Mo rí
nẹ́ẹ̀tì
tó
ṣe
à
bí
ń
ṣe
lẹ̀
bí
normal kiri náà ní two wheelbarrow two.
Guys, so let's not waste time. Sorry about that. So that being said, I was just trying to test some things. So basically, as I've said, we're going to be talking about Ponzi's, and I'm going to be explaining how it all works. Okay. So we all know what Ponzi is, but I'm going to be explaining from scratch how it works basically. So Ponzi is more or less like any kind of project, any kind of investments that you basically do. You basically take funds from new registration to pay the existing members. Okay, that is what Ponzi is all about. So without news registration, without new members coming into the systems, the project or the website or the investment platform will not be able to consistently or continue the payment. Okay, that is the general knowledge of, or that is the general definition of Ponzi's. Okay, but we have different kinds of Ponzi's basically from what I've learned over the years, right? And this talk is basically how we can, the general knowledge on Ponzi's, and how we can basically survive, or how we can basically escape from getting stuck in the system. Do you understand? How we can basically get or escape or survive being stuck in the system. That's what we are going to be talking. That's why I'm going to be generalizing my topics on. Sorry about the lapses. This is my first time doing live on YouTube, so do not be offended on my reactions and responses. Okay. So what I'm trying to portray here is Ponzi's will always be Ponzi's. Ponzi's has been reigning for generations. Okay, I'm talking about it has been reigning for over a decade, right? So if you're coming live for the first time, or if you're watching, please just basically comment that you can hear my voice. That is, if you can hear my voice, basically. So if you can hear my voice, basically just comment and let me know that you can hear my voice. And I need to know that I'm audible right now. So I'm going to be needing a lot of people to be joining the live so that live session on YouTube for the first time. And please, if you can hear me, please kindly just give a comment in the description. Let me know if my voice is audible and if you can hear me clearly. Please, I need the chat, please. It's important, okay? I need that chit chat, okay? It's important, guys. So, thank you. So let's just share this video. Let it go viral. Today, the major topic is Ponzi. Ponzi should be the major big topics right now in Nigeria, and people are always looking the other way around, okay? Because Ponzi is one of the fastest and the most easiest way and the most, like, well, it's legitimate way to make money online. Yes, that's the most legitimate way to make money online without doing the wrong things, okay? And it's also the fastest and the most easiest way. But regardless, most of the time, people get stuck in the system, and that is where we're going to be talking, or that is where I'm going to be emphasizing. That is what I'm going to be discussing in this video. I want to be sharing part of my experience over the couple of years. I'm talking about my experience over the past 6 to about 8 years now. How the Ponzi's has grown, how it has been renowned, how it has developed, how they have improved. Okay, so we are going to be going through them in segments. Okay, I might not pick them accordingly, but I'm going to talk about them as it flows. Okay, I like talking based on how it flows, guys. So you pardon me if I'm not being properly arranged. Okay, so first and foremost, we are talking about the definition of Ponzi. Now, Ponzi basically is an investment project. Let's put it that way. It's a platform that basically pays its investors, its members, probably for doing certain tasks or probably for investing certain amounts, promise you certain returns for a specific period of time. Then, why do we call it Ponzi? They now, according to them, claiming they are so brand doing so things, promising you different forms of things, saying they are doing one thing or the other to generate their revenue that allows them to pay their member certain ROI, right? Now, these are lies. Most of all these projects, investments, they don't do what they say they do. Okay, that is what you should know. Number one thing, you should know that for every Ponzi that you get yourself in contact with, or for every project or investment platform you get yourself into, whatever they promise you, they do not do it 100%. Do you understand? Have that at the back of your mind. That is number one thing. Whatever they promise you, they do not do it 100%. Yes, you heard me correctly. They do not do it 100%. So whatever they are telling you, they are selling lies to you. Okay. So now, as I've said, Ponzi's will always promise you a ROI for a specific period of time, right? And whatever they promise you that they are doing, that their business model is, it is 100% lie. Okay. What they do is they take money from new sign-ups, that is new members, right? And they use it to pay the existing members. And this is what they basically do over time. Please, if you're online, if you're watching my live, please let me know right now in the description or in the comments so that we know if my voice is audible. Please, I don't want to waste my time doing this live, and at the end of the day I will notice that I was not audible at all. It will be very painful, guys. So if you're watching the live, please just comment and let me know that you can hear me. So that being said, a lot of them promise you hell and tons of whatever to get you in the system or to get you rich. And that is just basically Ponzi. That is the general definition of Ponzi. So Ponzi basically is a project, an investment platform that promises you certain ROI and gives you a specific kind of model that they are using to generate funds, but they do not do those things. And they use new users signing up, putting funds into their system to pay the existing members. Then over time, when the system now gets saturated, that is, for every one person that registers, the person more should invite 2 persons to keep the system running, right? So if the first 5 people comes in, definitely they should bring at least 2 persons to keep the system alive. So for every new members, every person that they bring, they use their funds to pay 1 person. So if out of 5 persons, 5 persons invites 3 persons, right? They use that 3 money that has been paid into the system to pay 1 person. Right? So they keep repeating this process over time. That is how Ponzi works. Now, over the years, Ponzi's have evolved. They have evolved, they have improved. I remember then back in 2010. Yeah, 2010. That is 2010, right? I think I started my first investment platform. That was WinTrues, if I'm correct, according to the dates. I started my first investment platform in 2010. That was WinTrues, and I think that was the first project that I did that paid for 4 years. I used to say this, but people do not always believe me. So that was the first project I did that stayed for 4 years, and I basically cashed out a lot. But back then I was a novice. I didn't invite anybody. All I did was I just talked to one or two of my family members, and we started it, and that is how I made money. It was not that much, but I made good amount of money within that space of 4 years. That was the only project that I've seen so far that I paid for that long. Do you understand? Please, if you're on this live, please comment so that we know that you're hearing me and I'm audible. Please, it's important, okay? So I got paid for several years, which within the space of 4 years, and I was happy. Then later on, I did one or two investment projects then, and that was the loudest. I think that was, if I'm correct, probably 2023, 2021. I think I did some projects then, and they were the loudest of all projects. A lot of people trooped in, but they got stuck. Now, what am I trying to say? Project has evolved. Do you understand? Project have evolved, they have new tactics, but there's one thing I've known over the years, and I will emphasize. Project will always be project. Do you understand? Project will always be project. So projects will come and go. So one thing you should learn over time is that basically for every project you want to do, right, or for every project I've done, you need to study them. Do you understand? I know a lot of people will not have the time, they always want to get in. But the first thing you should know is timing is key. I know a lot of people will say timing doesn't work all the time. You're correct. So what I'm going now into is I've defined Ponzi, and I'm telling you how to basically survive. Things you need to do to survive. So first thing, you must have generated your capital first for you to be able to be safe when doing Ponzi. You must have an existing capital. And I will always tell people never to borrow to get started while doing Ponzi. Because once you get stuck in Ponzi, it is very, very, very difficult to get the money back to pay those that you've taken the loan from. So I always tell people whatever amount you have with you, if you're getting started with Ponzi, either an existing member or an old-time user of Ponzi or old investor of Ponzi's or old doer of Ponzi's or a newbie, your capital is important, right? So the first thing, you must have your own capital. Do not borrow, do not take money from anybody to get started in doing Ponzi. That is rule number one. Do not in any way take your capital from either your business, or you borrow from friends or family, or you borrow from loan apps. Please avoid just taking things from people. Let it come from your pockets, right? It might be you're a worker at whatever place you work, and let the money come from your own pocket. Let it not come from an outside, okay? So if you're getting started on Ponzi's, timing works. At least according to my ratings, timing work with 70% to 90% at all times. So timing works. So once you get in on time, there's high assurance that you will get your capital and profit out. Sometimes it fails, but most times it works. Second thing is you must carry whoever that you're bringing on board. Probably you're a type, you're an influencer, you're a leader, you have team. Whoever that you're bringing into any investment project, you must know that every project has limited time. They cannot stay forever. So that is one of the reasons why you as a leader, you as a team player, you as a person, you must be able to carry your team along. That is number two. So if you keep to time, if you keep to your team on guard, you're carrying them along as all times, then you are good to go. You will survive perfectly. Then another thing is, as a user, if you don't have a leader, I would advise you to start one leadership. Now, why do I say one leadership is key? One leadership is key because once you follow probably multiple leaders, I've tried this in the past and it's failed me. It's made me lose huge sum amount of funds. Yes, you heard me correctly. Huge sum amount of money. Let me talk about that side of the story in this particular life. Okay, so it makes you lose huge sum amount of money. So the best is whoever you're following as a leader or as a I don't know, a leader, a mentor, a mentee, I don't know, whatever they call them. Basically focus and follow that person. Probably, for example, you are following leadership A, you're following leadership B, you're following leadership C. You can get entangled. Okay, so I've talked about timing, I've talked about building team, I've talked about leadership. Then another one, you must learn to be able to decipher or differentiate between original and clone. I'll explain them. I'm just giving you points now. So timing is key. Building a team, cautioning or carrying your team along is another one. Then leadership, those who you follow can as well get you stuck in a system. Okay? Some leaders are greedy. And when I mean greedy, they keep referring even when they know that the system has gone. A great example is CBEX. I won't talk much into that, but when I sensed that CBEX started having issues, even though I didn't invest into CBEX, right? Or I didn't even talk about it on our review the product or their platform on my YouTube channel, right? I noticed something and I warned certain people that were doing it then not to get stopped. There was a particular friend of mine that said he did it, and I told him, guys, once you double your money, any project, once you've gotten your capital, that is when, once you've doubled your capital, right? You've doubled the money in the system, then get out your capital. It is compulsory. It is necessary. It is important. Do you understand? I told him then, but he never listened. He said he wanted to triple it. He wanted to make it X4. So good luck to you, because I've learned over the years. My experience has taught me. It has given me knowledge. It has opened my eyes even more. But regardless of all that I've said, projects that will fail you woefully. You will cry. Just like Gege always say, you go cry shaggy. That guy makes me laugh. Do you understand? That is how some projects can be. They can be crazy. Do you understand? So I've said about original and plan. Let me just explain these four things and we'll close the session for today. So now, so we don't make this video long. So time. Once you get into the system early, right, you will make the best out of it. Just like some platform I reviewed recently, at least I'm in the system now in day 2, right? Day 2. Today is marking it the second day on the system right now. And I've told my community, if you're coming into this project, come in now. Remember, I've always said this, regardless any review I will always do, regardless any video I'll do on my YouTube channel or on my any of my social media handle, I don't force people to do anything. That is me. I'm not a financial advisor of whatsoever. So you can decide to watch my review, you like it, you feel convinced, you do it. If you don't feel convinced, you stay away. It's simple. I will not force or advocate for any project or platform that put in all your money. No. Because I don't know those that are controlling the system. I don't know those that are behind the curtains. Okay, I can only talk for myself and myself alone. So any platform I basically review, the choice lies in your hands to do it or leave it. Do you understand? So timing is key. You must get in early. Once you've made X, certain X, that is, if you go into any project, probably with maybe $100 or maybe let's just say $100 for example. and you've gotten X2. X2 is you've gotten double of the money. That means your capital is available for you to take out. So take it out. Why waste time? That is where greed come in, and that is how people lose their money. So if you've gotten X2, you've gotten your capital. It might not even be up to X2, because when it's X2, you've doubled the capital, right? That means you have $200 in the system. So it's not compulsory to get it to X2. Once you hit your capital, so if you started with your capital, you can make it up to S2 and get out your capital. Or you can wait, maybe you've hit 100 and maybe $150, that's including your profit. Just take out your capital, leave your $50. But if you want to make it quite good for you, you can make it X2, right? And take out your capital. And I advise people, once you've done it, you've gotten your capital. I don't wait till I X2 most of the times in all the projects that I review or in all the projects that I invest my money into. I don't wait till it X2. What I do is once I hit so my capital is hit on target, I take it out. You know that all these projects you invest certain amounts into certain package, they last for so number of months, some last for weeks. You understand? At least most times they last for months. So they have a certain number of amounts they generate for certain months. Sometimes 3 months, sometimes 4 months, sometimes 2 months, sometimes 1 month. Do you understand? Sometimes 1.5 months. Do you understand? So you must have calculated, okay, within how many weeks, that's for timing, within how many weeks am I going to get my capital? Is it within 4 weeks? That's 1 month, my capital is out. Once I get my capital, I take it out. The rest, I leave it as my profits. So I let my profit to hit my capital amount again. Once it hits it, I take out. That means I've taken out either 100% or 50% of my profit. So remember, your target is capital. That is why it's important you get in on time. So once you hit your capital, you take it out. Then the next step is hitting 50% of your profits, you take it out as well. That's regards time. Then building team. Whatever thing you replicate in timing, your members that you're inviting or whoever that you're inviting must follow your leadership, must follow you in time. So you must carry your members as you're investing, you tell them. As you're withdrawing, you tell them. And you must tell them, okay, this money I withdrawed. But most times leaders are wicked. Those building teams, leadership, I'm mixing both leader and team build together right now. So to cut my time. Most times some leaders are wicked, right? They take you or invite you into a project and they leave you hanging, they leave you floating. They don't tell you, but they've gotten their referral commissions, which is madness. To me, it is madness. And I don't do that to my community. Once I go into any project, I tell them, as at today's date, which is 23rd, I've invested so amount. I do the screenshots in my community, I post it in my WhatsApp group and my WhatsApp channel, and as well on my Telegram channel. Do you understand? I might not do that on my YouTube channel, but I tell people it's very important to join. That is why it's 100% compulsory and necessary for you to join my channel and community so that you can be updated. Do you understand? So I tell them, I carry them along. Do you understand? Most times people put you into a project and they don't carry you along, and this make people stuck, totally stuck, and this kills people. When I say kills people, not literally kill them, I mean destroys their capital. Do you understand? And that is wickedness of the highest order. So sometimes when you follow bad leadership, you can get stuck in the system permanently. And that is why I said it's best you follow a leader. It's not compulsory you follow multiple leaders. Follow one. If you trust his insights, it's not compulsory for you to start with him immediately you join in. No, you study him. You see what he has accomplished. Probably you might study him for a month, see what he accomplished, see how he carries his people along, see how his community flows with him. Do you understand? That is how you choose a leader. Do you understand? So most times leaders just invest, they're all after their commissions, and that is all. Once they get it, that is all. I noticed in so many projects over the years, leaders are just concerned over commissions. And I noticed something. Once they start building team, they just keep withdrawing, which is not sensible. If you're going to be carrying your team members along, you need to be truthful. You need to be extremely truthful. If you're not truthful, it will kill your community. You get it will kill your community. It will cause havoc for the system you are trying to build, the truth, the trust. So the best is whoever you're bringing into the system or the community members you're bringing into the system, make sure you guide them properly. And if you're withdrawing your referral commission, you tell them this is not, I've not gotten or earned yet. All these withdrawals are strictly commission basis. That is what you tell them, and that is how I do in my community. Whenever I'm withdrawing commissions, I tell them these are my commissions, these are not actual profits from my investment. Do you understand? I tell them that. If you're in my community, you will know that. Okay. I tell them these are my commissions. Sometimes I just tell them, okay, I've not gotten out my investment profits yet, but I just withdraw this. So they definitely understand, okay, these are commissions. That is how I put it my own way. So that's how to carry your members along, and that is how a leader should do. So I've talked about two things now: building a team and carrying them along, and the leadership. Then the last one, originality and clone. Over the years, right, I've noticed that there are original projects and there are clones. And most of the times, most of us fall for the clones, but we don't know. Now look at CBEX. I don't know which one is the original, but among CBEX and PSEC, and there was another one. I've forgotten the name right now. But there were three of them. I don't know which was the original, but according to my research, CBEX has been existing for like 2 years. It started in 2025, 2020, it started in 2023. According to what I heard and according to my research, it started in 2023. For like 1 year, they were silent. So CBEX basically, for an example, they were those behind the curtains were well prepared. That is why I said the Ponzi has evolved, they have improved. Now, what they do now is, what I've noticed now is project of nowadays, right? They don't just come like that. Most of them, they have stocked up funds ready to push the business. They have stocked up resources ready to push the business. Imagine CBEX has paid for 2 years, while some said it just came as at last year. But some, according to my research, said it has been paying for 2 years. So if a project has been paying for 2 years, why is it now, or why did it now become more popular in 2025? Do you get the point? So some projects will come, they have massive amount of resources ready to pay their members in order to capture more users when it's getting to their crashing period. And that is when you're going to be seeing massive promotion, massive introduction from different angles. That is when they start using social media influencers massively. Do you understand? I'm going somewhere, because when you start seeing things like that, when you start seeing massive promotions like that, just have it in mind. It's either they are on their third phase or on their final phase. When I mean third phase, that is the phase that they are telling you, okay, we are ready, we are packing our loads gradually, and we will soon be going. In their first stage, they are at their beginning stage, which they'll be paying massively. In their second stage, they are still going to be paying massively. That is when they're going to be getting troops of people. That is when they will be telling you, okay, well, for you to be able to withdraw, you need to hit certain amount of withdrawals, or you need to hit certain numbers of referrals, or they may come up with you need to refer at least 2 persons before you be eligible to withdraw. Do you understand? Those are tactics, and I'm going to be going there shortly. I don't want this video to be more than maybe 30 minutes at max. Okay, so let me just cut it short. So now, differentiating between original and clones. Whenever you see any project coming with a unique type of system, have it in mind that platform is coming in for the first time. Yes, you heard me. The project is coming in for the first time. So if you encounter any project, probably it's new, you've never seen the kind of pattern before, that doesn't mean the platform has not existed before. Okay, the platform has existed before, but they are rebranding with new tactics. Okay, So it's very important you be able to identify the original from clone. And how do you identify it? You identify it if you're following the right leadership, if you're following the right person that will guide you accordingly. Do you understand? So I'm able to differentiate between clones and original. Sometimes the clones always outstand the original, but there's always a way. We that are in the game will always know. Okay, so that is that, the originality and the fake, the clones. Then there's something I want you guys to know. There's something we call reoccurring projects. When I say reoccurring projects, these are project or investment or Ponzi's that come either annually or biannually. I don't know if my English is correct. That these are projects or investment or Ponzi's that come every year or every 2 years or every 3 years. So these are recurring investment or recurring project or recurring Ponzi's. They come every year. That is, if they crash this year, they will come back that same year, but probably late that same year. So taking for example now, CBEX as a whole, since they were the greatest scam or Ponzi of 2025, which they went away with over something 100 and something trillion or billion dollars, right? CBEX will not be coming again this year. They've made mad money. Those behind the curtain, those that oversee the whole Ponzi scenarios, they've made massive money. What will they do now? Since they were able to pay for 2 years, they've accumulated massive resources for their next launch. Do you get the point? So now, don't be surprised if you hear another project probably after 2025, they come back in 2026 or come back in 2027. They'll come back in silent mode first. That is how they did in 2023, according to my source. Somebody, I think I saw some tweets and some other posts on Telegram saying they have been paying since 2023. It just got louder in late 2024, early 2025. Tickets. So those are recurring projects. I'm only giving an example. I've seen so many projects like that. They came with different names. One was CST Mine. The same people behind CST Mine are the same people behind Pool Mining. The same people behind Pool Mining are the same people behind one other name like that. They reoccur every year. Do you understand? Some reoccur every 2 years. So this is one way to survive. Once you can go through these scenarios, you go in on time, you build and carry your team members together, you follow the right leadership, you be able to differentiate between clone and original projects or investments. That is, if you're following the right person, then you'll be able to also get those projects that are reoccurring every year or every 2 years or every 3 years. With this, you'll be able to survive solemnly while you're doing Ponzi. So this is basically how to survive naturally. There are other things, but these are the main things you need to know to survive naturally doing Ponzi. I hope this video helps. Remember, this video is strictly for educational purposes. Rewatch it, digest it, understand what I'm saying. Remember, it is 100% necessary, it's 100% compulsory that you join my community so that you can get first-hand information non-stop. So I mean Cryptos Exchange. God bless you all. Love you. I will keep on enlightening you either via my community or as well on my YouTube channel. That'll be all for now. And have a lovely and pleasant